Hello and welcome to Last Week in AWS. I'm Corey Quinn. Let's see what AWS has for us this week. Announcing Agent Toolkit for AWS. Help AI coding agents build effectively on AWS. The MCP servers from AWS Labs lasted, 18 months before getting a rebrand? Your AI agents were burning tokens, improvising CloudFormation from 2023 knowledge, and now they can burn tokens following 40 validated skills instead. Free to use, except for the AWS resources your overconfident agent decides to provision at 3 a.m. And I still have to slap the secrets manager out of its hand in favor of parameter store. Same security guarantees, no 40 cents per secret per month malevolent clown pricing. CloudFront announces WebSocket support for VPC origins, real-time apps and private subnets without the ACL gymnastics. Cool, useful, and somehow not an additional line item on your bill. I had to read that last part twice to make sure I wasn't hallucinating myself. Ops teams who've been duct taping public subnet workarounds for years finally catch a break. EventBridge supports data plane logging to AWS CloudTrail. It only took until 2026 for EventBridge to log put events calls to CloudTrail, the API that's literally the entire point of EventBridge. Auditors who've been squinting at this blind spot for years get to preserve what's left of their eyesight. Bonus, CloudTrail data events bill by the request, so visibility comes with a delightful little surcharge. The joke is the word little. IAM now provides higher maximum quotas for roles, role trust policies, instance profiles, managed policies, and identity providers. Doubling your IAM role limit to 10,000 isn't a feature so much as it is a cry for help. If you need more than 5,000 roles, the problem isn't AWS quotas. It's that your access strategy was clearly designed by interns playing Calvin Ball. Congrats on the headroom to make worse decisions faster. AWS Marketplace now supports programmatic procurement with Agreements API. Procurement teams can now spend money on AWS Marketplace without clicking through a single console service. Progress! Your monthly burn rate can now be automated by the same intern who wrote the Terraform module nobody reviews. Available only in US East 1 because procurement keeps East Coast business hours. Modernize your workflows. Workspaces now gives AI agents their own desktop in preview. That's right, your AI agent now needs its own workspace, billed presumably at the same rate as the human that it's replacing. The irony is that we're paying full desktop licensing for bots to click through legacy apps because nobody wanted to fund that mainframe modernization project. Somewhere, a CFO is weeping. The CFO is always weeping. It's a part of their interview process, weeping. The AWS MCP server is now generally available, giving an AI agent IAM credentials and 15,000 plus API operations. What could possibly go wrong? The sandbox with no network access is doing Atlas-level load-bearing work in that sentence. Still, separating humans and agent permissions via SCPs is the rare grown-up touch in an industry currently speedrunning new ways to bankrupt itself via runaway token loops. Announcing Valkey 9.0 for Amazon Elasticache. Redis got greedy, the community got Valkey, and AWS got to stop contributing code to the folks who bought a community while looking like open source heroes. Now version 9.0 bolts full-text search into your cache so you can retire that separate search cluster. Your build won't shrink, mind you, it'll just consolidate into a more impressive single line item instead. Query billion-scale vectors with SQL, integrating Amazon S3 vectors and Aurora PostgreSQL. 3 services, 1 Lambda duct tape between them, and a CloudFormation template to hide the shame. You're trading ACID guarantees for billion scale, which is AWS speak for we sure hope you like reconciling orphan vector IDs at 3 in the morning. The architecture diagram alone could qualify as modern art. Your bill will have opinions. You wanted to become AI native, and all you got was a lousy foundation, which personally I think is a really crappy thing to say about the CNCF, at least where they get to read it. Agents that transact, introducing Amazon Bedrock Agent Core payments built with Coinbase and Stripe. This is why I find myself using Stripe.com instead. Payments for toddlers, letting AI agents move real money autonomously. What could possibly go wrong? Somewhere, a fraud team just stress vomited into a wastebasket. The pitch is fractions of a cent per call, billed in real time, which is also how I describe my therapy bills after auditing the resulting CloudWatch logs. And now, the CVE section. This one, CVE 2026-7461, OS command injection in Amazon ECS agent via FSX window file server volume credentials. 5 years of this bug hiding in the ECS agent for Windows, just waiting for someone to craft credentials creative enough to score system privileges. The silver lining? If you're running ECS on Windows EC2, this vulnerability is probably the least of your operational concerns. Patch to 1.103.0 and resume your regularly scheduled suffering. CVE 2026-7791, local privilege escalation via talk-to race condition in Workspace's Skylight agent. Okay, race conditions in a log archival routine of all places will let any random Workspaces user become system. Patch to 2.6.2038.0 and contemplate the cosmic irony that the service watching over your workstation's health was itself the patient zero. Shout out to Simulate for finding what Amazon's fuzzers apparently couldn't. And finally, CVE 2026-31431, a kernel privilege escalation bug affecting roughly every Amazon Linux variant ever shipped, plus BottleRocket, ECS, EKS, EMR, Fargate, and DLAMIs. The patch rollout schedule stretches into late May, which is a fun way of saying good luck out there. SageMaker status remains, we'll get back to you, which inspires zero confidence. And that's what happened last week in AWS. I'm Corey Quinn. Please stick around and continue finding me amusing.